I recently re-entered the 40-hour slave week after being unemployed for a year and a half. And because of that, I've had to give up the luxury of not interacting with zombies. Before, when I was unemployed, the only zombies I was forced to interact with was my family, for the most part. But now that I've been pushed off the plank back into the mainstream population, my nightmare of the living dead has grown exponentially. And I'm realizing that even though more people are awake today than there was yesterday, and that trend continues, I'm sad to say that the vast majority of people are still zombies. Apparently my perception was overly optimistic, warped by my internet experience. When you hang out with like-minded individuals only, you tend to assume that your like-mindedness is more prevalent than it really is. Like if you were, say, I don't know, sexually attracted to midget amputees, and you spent all day online interacting with other people who are also sexually attracted to midget amputees, you might begin to think that everyone thinks that midget amputees are hot too. When in reality, most people think having sex dressed up in a furry cartoon animal suit is hot. Especially tigers. Which reminds me, I have something to pick up at the cleaners tomorrow. I steer clear of most people because most people are brainwashed zombies, oblivious to the wrathful karma that our collective ignorance reaps. And because I have this perspective, many people assume that I'm antisocial. But I'm not. I just think most people are assholes, and I don't want to hang out with assholes. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love people. I love people. Generally. Not on a personal level. Kumbaya, motherfucker. I certainly don't have a problem with PDA. Public displays of affection. I've been arrested for masturbating in public many times. Speaking of masturbating in public, I was reading this article while masturbating in public and enjoying myself. Literally. And I remember it as one of the more enjoyable times that I've masturbated in public as standing out or up. And that it was one of the few times that I've masturbated in public without getting arrested. You might think it takes a lot of balls to masturbate in public, but I find that too is sufficient. And to the up-and-comers contemplating masturbating in public, I would suggest working up to it. I practiced a pre-recorded video of audiences. I found that the best pre-recorded audiences to masturbate to are rock concerts because the people are really wild and into it and the chicks flash their tits. Bon Jovi concerts are a good place to start and finish. Sporting events are also highly motivating. Women's tennis has the added bonus of lots of female grunting. Symphony audiences, on the other hand, have an eerily silent quality about them that builds into an erupting crescendo at the end that provides a cathartic release that can transport the soul. I recommend steering clear of masturbating to audiences attending stand-up comedy. That tends to have a negative impact on self-esteem, in my experience. Anyway, back to zombies. So I'm at work and I'm talking to this guy who was in the National Guard, been in the military 12 years, never masturbated in public. And he was saying that he knew that all of America's wars are wars for the banksters and corporations. He knew that DHS was intentionally drying up ammo supplies in order to soften up the American people prior to a military police state. And then he went on to say that he likes to tell himself that he's fighting the bad guys over there to keep us safe over here. I reminded him that the only bad guys are the ones created, funded, and controlled by the very same people who order you to fight them. Perhaps fight is the wrong word. Slaughter, with superior weaponry, paid for with money, stolen from U.S. tax dollars, that should have gone to things like universal health care infrastructure, housing, and higher education for all, just for starters. He said he knows, but he likes to tell himself that he's fighting the bad guys over there to keep us safe over here, to make himself feel better. And it was at this point in the conversation that I felt the urge to masturbate in public. But I didn't want to lose my job. Now, I've met many zombies in my life, but not like this one. He knew he was in denial, yet still continued to justify his participation in atrocities committed against humanity. At least in a support role, like I do myself when I pay my taxes. Nationalism, like religion, is just another mind control cult, reaping death and misery. Some people were offended when rapper Lil Wayne stepped on the American flag, while others, like myself, asked, "Who the fuck is Lil Wayne?" But whoever the fuck he is, I'm not offended. I view the American flag as a modern-day swastika. The logo may have changed, but the underlying core values remain the same. God bless America. How about God bless the world? How weak your God must be if he can't even bless a complete planet. From the Book of Deep Space, chapter 13, verse 18. Beware of those who proclaim to be elite, royal, or chosen, for they are the servants of Satan. Just look at how the Israelis, who proclaim to be God's chosen people, behave like Nazis in Palestine. And if you like Nazis, I don't want to hear your griping. And fuck Memorial Day. Memorializing a bunch of dead people who were brainwashed to commit crimes against humanity aren't worthy of my consideration. You want to memorialize dead people? Start by memorializing the millions of people murdered, slaughtered, and raped in their own countries by U.S. soldiers under the direction of the banking elite. Most of us just want peace. But first, we have to disinvite the vampire from our home. Or chop its head off, one or the other. Otherwise, we'll all be living in a world where everyone is forced to masturbate in private. Go humanity.